the wings of the wind, understand your voice of wonder. Oh, ye, the second of the bird, in the burning flame of flames in the gas, my shores, my ashes.
Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Pauper rubbishness. Today I'm gonna bring you to my second deck tech of my channel. But first of all, I want to tell you I tried to upload 2 gameplays of Gift Rock and I couldn't upload those. They had some kind of problem. I think the file was corrupt or something, and when I couldn't even put up the third video together, I just quit on that. And since I wasn't even gonna post any other daily events with that deck, I think that was enough, the one gameplay. If I may, I'll try to post something later on with that, but for now I want to focus on this new deck here that I'm bringing to you. And as you saw in the name of the video, it's called Monowhite Soldiers. So it's my first tribal deck. I'm planning to bring you some other tribals, but this is the one have I've been seeing much better results, and I'm gonna show you here. As you can see, we have 4 copies of Javelineers. We have 4 copies of Loyal Cathar, 4 copies of Core Skyfisher, Bone Splitters. We've got Journey to Nowhere, and since you saw this is a Monowhite deck and it's also aggro, the main question you should be asking me here is, why would I run this deck instead of white winning? And I'm going to present you a couple of reasons why. First of all, there are 2 main reasons I'm running this deck, and those are this card here and this card here. And so, as you can see, Unified Strike is a really amazing removal spell. I think it just passed unnoticed so far, but I really liked it. It's an instant speed removal. It's a 1 mana instant speed. Exile target attacking creature if its power is less than or equal to the number of soldiers on the battlefield. So since you are always gonna have a bunch of dudes out, this card is pretty much 1 mana exile target attacking creature, nearly saying 90% of the time. So it's even though I have the main removal spell for the Monowhite aggro deck, I like this one better because it's 1 less mana to cast, and it's also instant speed. I was really considering also Unmake, but Unmake is a 3 mana spell and this one is only 1. So even though the guy has to be attacking, I don't think this is gonna be much of a condition for us, because since we are always gonna have since we are with an aggro deck, we always wanna bash in with everyone every turn, so we are always gonna have our guard down. So this is a great spell. And Veteran Swordsmith is also a great spell. It's a 3 mana 3/2 creature, human soldier. Other soldier creatures you control get +1/+0. So this will buff all but 1 creature in your deck, and it's I think it's a very amazing spell because it's also an attacker, right? And it's only 3 mana. And the reason this deck can be, I thought it could be put up together, is also this card right here, Ballyrush Banneret. It's a 2 mana 2/1 that makes your guys cost less. So On turn 3, you don't have to be only playing a 3 mana spell. You can be playing a 3 mana spell along with a 2 mana or a 1 mana spell, or you can be playing 3 2 mana spells, or you can be playing I don't know, you got the idea of it. It's I think it's very good, and we are also running 4 copies of even Rift Watcher. They are great against the aggro decks and also the control decks. See, because it's a body, it's a 3 mana 2/3 body that can block a lot of things. I mean a 2/3. If it was a 2/2, it wouldn't be as good as it is as a 2/3. Because most of the aggro decks run only usually 2/2 creatures or 2 power creatures, not really 2/2 or 2/1s or 1/1s. So this is a great way to hold them back. And I guess the control matches, if the control player wants to kill your guy, you're going to win 2 life off of it. So it's always going to be 4 life, a 3 mana 4 life, and a 2/3 body. So it's amazing in nearly all matchups. It's only a side out against Infect, which life gain is not much of an issue, but in every other matchup this card is really amazing. And we're also playing 4 copies of War Falcon, which is an incredibly good 1-drop in this deck. You are 90% sure that on turn 2 he's going to bash in for 2. Okay, so you play this on turn 1. You are always gonna have a soldier on turn 2 to bash with him. Not along, but to allow him to bash in for 2. And I also added this huge guy, this 4-drop. He's very good against a bunch of matchups. He's always better in the late game, where when you're able to cast it and make good use of it, killing their guys. And I really liked it in the Stompy matchups. It just holds them back. They never want to attack. They just want to hold in with their guys. And also a Goblins deck. If they want to sack their guys to the guy that you sack, and you can get your target creature +1/+1. They have to sack a whole bunch of creatures just to play around this guy if it's on the table. And if they can, really, we can also Unified Strike the guy. So this deck is pretty great. We have Core Skyfisher to buy back our lands, our Javelineers. This is also a great interaction. Core Skyfisher, sorry, and Javelineers. You get to reuse his counter. And we're also running Loyal Cathars. Loyal Cathar is also a great card. It's not only a 2 mana 2/2 vigilance, that would already be a very great card, but it also comes back when it dies. So it's 2/4/1 that I really like in this format. I'm also running Azorius Arrestor because he's a great soldier. He can hold off a guy. Hold off a guy of your opponent. So yeah, I liked it pretty much because it detains a creature of your opponent, and it's also a 2/1 body. So it's very good. It interacts well with this deck. It's usually a side out, but against some aggros that run on only a few creatures, it's fine. I like it. And since we're running on such a low curve, we only have 1-drops, 2-drops, 3-drops, and a 1-off 4-drop. I didn't want to run more lands than 18, and from this 18 land, 2 of them are cycle lands. The cycle lands are great. They replace themselves, and they can also be a mana source. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We have also bone splitters, which we also have bone splitters that are good in the in absolutely any kind of match. They're kind of our win condition here. Yeah, our whole deck is our win condition, but this guy just makes it goes faster. We increase the clock on our enemy, and he doesn't have as much time to try to deal with it. So that's it. Let's move on to the sideboard. We're running 3 copies of Guardian of the Guild Pact. He's very good against the control matches because he can't be effectively targeted by most spells. The only thing that could target him that is irrelevant would be a Terminate, but that is something we don't see much on the lists. Or even Unmake. Unmake could target it, but I don't think it's gonna be much of an issue. And it's also unblockable in most of the matchups, so I really like him. Prismatic Strands, needless to say, against goblins, against Infect, or even against Corrupts, this is a great card. Dust to Dust, also needless to say, affinity matchups are a pain in the ass for everyone, so you can use this guy as to kill the creatures, kill their lands, kill their springleaf drums, whatever. This card is a great 2-for-1 against affinity decks. Rest for the Rares against the heavy aggro decks, mono reds, and all this sort of aggro-ish deck. Equine Calm for the green-white enchantments deck. This will kill their ethereal armor or their armadillo cloaks, which is usually what gives the deck strength. And we're also running Monowhite. The reason I'm trying Monowhite here, it's because I got them to work against storm spells. So not these storm spells, but these storm decks in general. So this could easily counter a storm, a Sithing Song, either a Sithing Song or a Rite of Flame, and give me 1 extra turn against them to try to deal with it. So I really like them on those matchups, and I didn't want to waste 3 Tixes or 4 Tixes in a unicorn, a benevolent unicorn. And in the end, I just made the right guess, not buying the unicorn. Those would be 16 wasted Tixes, since they got banned. The Grape Shot got banned and the Empty Worms got banned. I bought a couple of Holy Lights for the Goblin Storm, but I was just using the Monowhite, which worked quite as good as well. But now I can see that this Monowhite here is not just for the Storm matchups. It's also great against any kind of decks that run low on lands, such as the White Weenie, the Stompy, or even an Infect deck. So this deck can stop something as huge as a Hunger of the Hall pack in a Stompy deck. It can stop a game-winning Razor Golem against a White Weenie, or it can even stop a Crazy Pump spell from an Infect deck. So this card is doing pretty great against these matchups, and that's about it. That's the whole deck. I'm really sorry about the matchups from the Gift Rock deck. I'm really hoping to post some of that later, but since I'm not gonna be running any daily events with it, I don't think there's gonna be much of an issue for me. I'm just gonna record some 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 non-tournament matchups. This, I think, is a good deck to run in a daily event. This is a deck I think that would easily make a 3-1 in a daily event, and I am sure as hell gonna try it. So keep tuned up for more Pauper roguishness with Rogue Pauper Brewer. Thanks for all watching this. Please like this video and favorite it if you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel to keep updated with the Rogue Pauper deck lists. And please give me some feedback on my videos. I really like that. And thanks for watching. And that's it. Keep rocking.